ever have an aquarium that never stopped needing you? The water's clear and the fish are alive, but somehow you're doing maintenance like you're paying rent on the tank. That's usually when people quit, not after a crash, but after buying a fish that survives everything except your free time. If you want to know what fish you should and shouldn't buy, subscribe so I can feed my baby, because today we're breaking down 5 fish people commonly buy right before they quit the hobby, and why these hardy fish can sometimes drain aquariums of fun. First, it's the common Pleco. Now, the common Pleco is sold as a solution, an algae eater, cleanup crew, or the janitor of the aquarium. Biologically, it's more like a compactor that never stops eating. Common plecos are river fish built for constant grazing and industrial-scale digestion. They don't remove waste, they repackage it. As the pleco grows, nothing technically breaks, the tank just gets heavier. So you got more waste, so you gotta do more filter maintenance. And there's more moments when you're scraping algae thinking, didn't I already do this yesterday? The fish keeps growing and the algae keeps coming back. And the tank never reaches that magical moment where you're caught up. This is where burnout sets in. You're not enjoying fish, you're maintaining a biological debt, and the pleco survives all of it. By the time the owner quits, the pleco is usually the last fish left, staring at you like, wow, you lasted longer than most. Next is the goldfish, and I'm talking about common and Comet. Goldfish are sold like a starter item. They're cheap and simple, and the aquarium equivalent of, we'll see how this goes. But biologically, they're just carp, which is never a sentence that ends well indoors. Goldfish are built to eat constantly, grow continuously, and convert food into waste with a level of efficiency that feels personal. They don't overwhelm aquariums all at once, they overwhelm them politely. The water never crashes, it just never looks right. The filter never fails, it just sounds tired. And the tank never smells bad, it just smells like something is considering it. So owners respond by doing more water changes, more cleaning, and more standing in front of the tank wondering why a $3 fish has this much authority over their schedule. And the advice keeps on coming. Just upgrade the filter, just do a bigger water change, or just get a bigger tank. At some point, the fish stops feeling like a beginner pet and starts feeling like a performance review you didn't prepare for. And the goldfish? Perfectly fine through all of this, swimming around like it's in a pond, eating like it's offended by the concept of leftovers, and growing steadily while you Google, how big do these actually get, with fear in your heart. People don't quit because goldfish die, they quit because the tank never once feels clean, and the fish never once seems impressed by all your effort. Next is the Oscar. Oscars aren't hard to keep, they're hard to leave alone. They're sold as interactive, which is true in the same way a smoke alarm is interactive. Biologically, Oscars are large, intelligent, territorial cichlids that are built for dominance, heavy feeding, and stable environments. They don't tolerate inconsistency, they're gonna respond to it. So if you miss a water change, the Oscar notices. If you skip a feeding, the Oscar remembers. And if you rearrange the tank, the Oscar files a complaint. At first, this feels kind of rewarding. The fish recognizes you, follows you, and stares at you like it's waiting for something. Then you realize you've purchased a fish that expects customer service. So maintenance stops being optional, schedules stop being flexible, and the tank quietly becomes the most judgmental thing in your house. Vacations require planning, tank sitters require instructions, and every upgrade feels less like a choice and more like appeasement. The Oscar doesn't die easily, it just escalates. By the time people quit, the fish is healthy, active, and fully aware that it has replaced whatever free time you used to have. Because people don't quit because Oscars fail, they quit because they didn't realize they were adopting something with opinions. Then there's the clown loach. Now, clown loaches don't ruin aquariums immediately, they ruin them eventually, which is worse because by then you're emotionally invested. They're sold small, colorful, and friendly. The kind of fish that makes you say, yeah, we'll figure it out later. Later shows up with a calendar. Biologically, clown loaches are long-lived, schooling river fish that require large groups and serious swimming space. And they don't stop growing, they just slow down enough to give you false hope. They live a long time, long enough to watch you change jobs, move apartments, and reconsider what starter fish was supposed to mean. At first, they hide, then they come out more, and then one day you realize they've doubled in size and you didn't notice because it happened politely. Every upgrade feels temporary. You're gonna need a bigger tank, more filtration, and a lot more space. Not because something went wrong, but because the fish is doing exactly what it was built to do. And at some point, this tank is gonna stop feeling like a hobby. It's gonna feel like a long-term promise you forgot you made. Clown loaches do not die quickly. They just wait calmly and patiently for you to either upgrade again or quietly exit the hobby. And finally, it's gonna be the angelfish. Now, angelfish don't end aquariums dramatically. They end them politely, which somehow makes it worse. They are elegant, slow, and they look like they're doing absolutely nothing wrong, which is impressive considering the amount of tension they can generate. Biologically, angelfish are territorial cichlids with complex social hierarchies. They don't need to be aggressive all the time, they just need to be in charge. So the tank doesn't explode, it simmers. There's a little chasing here, a little posturing there, just enough hostility that everyone knows who owns the room. So fish don't die, they relocate. Your corners become popular and plants become safe zones, and feeding time can turn awkward. Some fish rush the food, and some hang back like they're waiting for permission. And the angelfish floats there calm and centered like it didn't orchestrate this. Owners respond the only way they know how. They rearrange decor, add plants, or move things around like interior design is going to solve fish politics, but it doesn't. The angelfish adapts immediately and resumes quiet dominance. Eventually, the tank is no longer relaxing. It's still beautiful, still functional, and still technically fine. It just feels tense. And at some point, people realize they haven't enjoyed watching their aquarium in months. They've just been monitoring it. The angelfish survives, but the vibe does not. None of these fish are bad, but you shouldn't buy them before you know exactly what you're getting into. If you want to keep learning, check out this video. I'm Art Gills, and I'll see you in the next one.